Hey everyone, back at you. Kim, Mac, TJ, doing the Roy Orbison hairdo here. This segment, I'd like to start off with a few lines from a novel. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. Those are the first few lines from A Tale of Two Cities, written by Charles Dickens. And the reason why I read those lines to you is because sometimes I feel that's what we're in. Not necessarily two cities, but two demographic groups. You know, we have modern technology, but for all our technology, our education's pretty much in the dumps. For all of our enlightenment, we're totally clueless as to what's going on. For all of our advancements, we're in the dark. Thus, the lines from the Charles Dickens novel. You guys got any comments so far?
Tale of Two Countries, for sure.
Tale of Two Countries, yeah.
Right.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little slideshow. And I'm going to show you two different groups. And we're going to compare these two groups. The first group is going to be COVID-19 protesters. And the second group is going to be the, we'll call them the social injustice protesters, okay? So here's the first one. And this picture was taken from Lansing, Operation Gridlock. And you can see people driving cars, causing a traffic jam in Lansing, leading up to the state capitol. And we're going to go to the next picture here. And here's some social injustice protesters. And they're in the street. Clearly they're causing a traffic jam, albeit on foot. But any thoughts, guys, on the two groups?
Oh, yeah. Some of my thoughts are, you know what? The first group shows people who still love our country. And our second group shows people who don't love our country.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I tried to be fair in the choosing of these pictures. Okay, I'll just share that with everyone. All right, next. We're back to the COVID-19 protesters. Clearly, these people are Trump supporters. And yeah, not many of them are wearing masks. Certainly not practicing social distancing. But anyways, this was also in Lansing. Okay. And we're going to go to the next one. And some more social injustice protesting. I chose this sign. I chose this picture because of the sign. Stop killing us, bro. Stop killing us, bro. But then when you look at her shirt, it says "over it," and I'm thinking, what the heck is she over? Or is she over anything? You know?
Yeah. What is this person here? What is that?
I don't know, but there's a halo on it. Yeah. So you know what? I bet you that's George Floyd. I think that's George Floyd there.
Well, he was hardly going to be wearing a halo, from what I understand.
Well,
he didn't deserve to die, but
You know, the thing is the first group was fighting for our freedom. And we are, we are fighting for our freedom in the state of Michigan currently.
Yeah.
We don't have freedom still. They're talking about social injustice, but yet we in Michigan still aren't free. We're still supposedly locked in.
yeah.
Except for our governor.
What I also noticed about this picture is, again, they're on foot blocking traffic. All right.
I have a real interesting story. I was on my way to see a patient that was having problems the other day.
Yeah.
Ran into a group of these marchers that were on foot blocking traffic. Couldn't get through 26 minutes to sit and wait while I had a patient having problems.
They just have to understand the importance of their protest.
Yeah, blocking traffic is a problem. And I believe that
it's a crime.
Even we as patriots, shouldn't be blocking traffic. We need to leave a lane open for emergency vehicles or people who need to get through.
I don't see why you need to be in the road at all.
All right, our next picture. And I will confess I'm not quite certain where this was taken, but I'm going to guess Florida. And there's a reason why I say Florida.
Palm trees.
Palm trees, and clearly you got a Trump 2020 flag there in the center. So I'm guessing this picture was taken in Florida. Trump supporters protesting COVID-19. Not many of them are wearing masks, not practicing social distancing. And we'll go to this one. And I chose this picture because the guy, he's wearing his little thing there, but the sign is what struck me. Justice or violence, you decide. And my first thought
Better
was,
not let me decide.
you know what? But my thought was, he's already decided.
He's already decided.
He's already decided.
He's warning us. We either give him justice, which I don't know what his version of justice is. Probably doesn't involve due process or the Constitution or evidence.
Also, if you look in this picture, dead center in the distance are what appears to be civilian police. To the left of this photograph is military police. So what you've already, there's a picture here, you got your military police augmenting your civilian police.
I think the first picture is interesting, and it's a question I'm asking now too. If the protests are okay, is COVID-19, is it truly real?
Yeah.
You know, was it ever really real? Is it such a problem if protesting, in this case,
What they're saying, what they're saying is that this is so important. We don't have to worry about killer diseases, because that's what we were told before.
Yeah.
It's going to kill everybody. If you get near it, we have to stay 6 feet away from each other. We can't talk to each other. We can't go out to our second home.
We can't see our families.
Right.
We can't see our friends. We're not supposed to let them come to our houses.
Right. Can't see my grandson that I've held twice in 6 months.
All right, we'll go to the next one here. This was, again, another protest in Lansing, Michigan. And I think I count 6 Don't Tread on Me flags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Don't Tread on Me flags. And if you recall, Whitmer and the lawmakers were feeling threatened by this group. And you'll see in a few pictures, why they felt so threatened. But here's another a group of bad people protesting Governor Whitmer here in Lansing, Michigan. And we'll go to the next one. And here's social injustice protesters protesting a government building, and I'm sure you can identify what that government building is. That's the White House.
But
that's the White House.
That's okay, according to our governor.
I don't know if this picture was taken the same night of, but the Fox News crew was attacked literally just a couple hundred feet from the White House.
Well, not only that, what I heard, our governor's windows in her office were broken out. Did you hear a peep from her on that? But look how much she talked about the protesters there wanting the lockdown.
Yeah, the COVID-19.
Yeah, she works in the Romney building, and I heard that some people wanted to burn it down.
Yeah.
But I peeped from her. She wasn't threatened by that.
I don't know what comments we can say on this one other than I just thought I'd include this one. They're clearly standing outside of a government building. The flags. The flags are a symbol of evil oppression. The Don't Tread on Me. How dare you fly a Don't Tread on Me flag is really what they want to say.
Yeah. Well, they say, and of course it's not true, that it's a symbol of white supremacy.
Yeah.
They say that about the American flag. It's not true.
Okay, next one. This church ought to look familiar. That's the church that they tried burning down, and the next day, how dare President Trump walk across the street from the White House holding a Bible and have a press conference?
Right.
You know,
They're calling it a photo op.
you know,
Yeah, but you know what?
I call it leadership.
It was real interesting in the photo op, supposedly, that CNN was showing. They didn't show any of the graffiti that was written across the walls that later were shown in the pictures as Trump was walking through,
well,
and the destruction that these people had done to DC.
when you look at this picture explains why President Trump did what he did. You know,
Every president has worshipped in there since Madison, third president. If you didn't know.
we're going to have this picture here, and this picture is going to touch on a hot button of Max, I believe. This is actually a COVID-19 protest, but you have a guy with an AR and a sidearm strapped to his hip, and this was my concern too. There's the hint of a threat, without necessarily just by the fact of him holding a firearm was deemed as an unspoken threat of sorts.
Right. I wish they hadn't done it. It's his right to do it, no question. But that's the thing about rights and freedoms is you have to discern the difference between I have the right to do and what I ought to do.
See, I'm a firm Second Amendment, and I feel they have every right to do that.
No, they absolutely
And-
have every right to do it. I don't know for the sake of optics that they should have, because what they did was, you got to understand this about it. Who controls the media, and who's gonna spin this story? What they did, I think, was hand her their white supremacists. They brought Nazi flags. They brought the Confederate flags, which is clearly a symbol of slavery, being pro-slavery, which in fact I think the three of us know, and if you folks out there don't know, it's a symbol of being a rebel. It doesn't say that you support slavery, because in a lot of people's minds, that's what the Civil War was. It was about being a rebel.
But on the other hand, what are our guns for? Our guns are there to protect us from a tyrant like Whitmer is being.
She is now, for sure.
The symbolism of this is perfect because she is a tyrant.
Yeah.
And that was exactly why we have our guns in the Second Amendment,
Right.
is to protect us against people like her.
We certainly don't disagree about that, but what happened in the media? Did they do exactly what I said they did?
But you want to know what? It doesn't matter. They would find a way to spin it no matter
But
what.
there's truth in that for sure.
All right, next one. I love this picture here. I just love it. This is the CNN building in Atlanta, and it's being vandalized by all these peaceful protesters.
I loved it too.
Yeah. You know, this social injustice protesters, you know, I look at this.
But that was
And
okay.
I look at this picture, and the term that comes to my mind is poetic justice. Poetic justice. What we got here is
I
poetic
happen
justice.
to be watching CNN because I do watch it on times just to hear their side of it, and was laughing my butt off because they were freaking out. How dare them come after us?
Yeah.
We're on their side.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I wanted to show this one again. Just some more COVID-19 protesters. I will say this. Anyone who is familiar with firearms, please take note of the 1- and 2-point tactical slings that they're incorporating here. It's very interesting because, you know, the weapon is kept at a semi-ready position, and they can even they could honestly say, "Hey, I was just carrying it. I wasn't pointing it at anybody. You know, it was just."
Nor should they.
It just happened to be on me, and so, you know, I was compelled to share this photo. Okay, and we'll go to the next one. And this is a crying shame. More peaceful protesters burning the 3rd precinct in Minneapolis. You know, they were told to abandon this building and just let the peaceful protesters burn it down.
But did you hear anything horrible? There were just excuses after excuses. These poor people, they're so frustrated. I'm sorry, there is no excuse for this kind of behavior.
It's
None
just,
whatsoever.
it's just a crying shame. Crying shame.
Well,
No
we all
excuse.
remember, we're all old enough to remember when Dr. Martin Luther King was out there throwing Molotov cocktails and saying, kill the police, right? Oh,
Yeah.
We have a day in his honor. It would be nice if anybody honored him.
Next photo. I was compelled to share this one also. COVID-19 protesters lined up, getting ready to approach a government building. And again, incorporating the 1 or 2 point slings, keeping them at the semi-ready position. I have a comment on these photos. I'll kind of share it this time. When you look at these guys with the guns, they're not shooting anybody. They're not shooting at the building. They're not burning the building down. They're not storming them and taking them hostage. They're not looting. They're just. I feel like they're saying, "We're here because of what you did, and this is how we're going to show
Well, it's
up."
literally that, a protest. There's
know?
a big difference between a protest and a riot.
And they're being, aside from not looking all that, I don't know, they're not really looking all that peaceful, really, but they are protesting peacefully, in a intimidating sort of way.
The thing is that, yeah, there's some intimidation, but there is no intimidation like what we're seeing in these riots.
Exactly.
These people are coming up to people and telling them, get on your knees and beg my forgiveness.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sorry, don't tell me that.
Here we have how a peaceful protester exits a building. And there'll be more of these to follow here, but, you didn't see any COVID-19 protesters do this. Or I don't recall any COVID-19 protester doing this.
There were none, and here's the hypocrisy of our governor. She chided the people with the COVID-19 protesters.
Oh, yeah.
She chewed them out. She said, you're going to make us stay in lockdown longer. She threatened us.
Uh-huh. That's
you
for
don't
sure.
hear her threatening these people.
Oh, no.
Instead, you see her marching with these people, not social distancing and not wearing a mask.
In fairness, I was going to show this one. If you recall, on the second Operation Gridlock, they did enter into the state capitol, as you can see here. I don't know if you can make it out in the photo, but to the left, there is a guy with a shouldered AR. To the left, he looks like he's in some kind of camouflage. I can't really make out anyone else with a weapon in there. There could be, I don't know. I can honestly tell you at least one person was in there with a weapon slung. But you know what? You don't see him. Tearing the building up.
I don't know about the Michigan thing, but isn't it legal to enter in the Michigan Capitol building?
Well, right now it is, because they wanted to make it illegal, but that seems to have stalled. I don't know what's going on with it right now, but
Well, there are a number of places you can't take a firearm into,
yeah,
like a courthouse or such.
But they actually have found in a lot of those cases that that's illegal if you start, and they've actually challenged those laws in other states.
Yeah.
here's some social injustice, peaceful protesters exiting Target. Just another example of, just another example of their conduct, I'd tell you. All right. I wanted to throw this one in. This was in California, I believe, Orange County, California. And I remember when they all went to the beach, and the way they were so vilified. How don't these people realize what they're doing by going to the beach? And all these people were deemed bad people, if you recall the news reports.
Right.
Okay, all these people, they just want to go to the beach, and they're bad people.
And they're disobeying their master.
Yeah, how dare they disobey? This was an Apple store here, and Apple, they're prone to condone or side with the liberal causes. So I thought it was very interesting that the Apple store was vandalized.
Yeah, Nikes too.
You know, so I thought I'd throw in this picture. Just some more COVID-19 protesters again slung ARs, but they are practicing face covering. So you know, got to give credit where credit's due. You know,
and the guns are held appropriately. I
You
mean,
know.
that's the appropriate, safe way to handle them.
And finally, and I wanted to wait for this one to the end. This is a Walmart in Chicago, and the mayor of Chicago has pleaded with Walmart not to pull out.
Oh yeah, 'cause
The mayor has pleaded for them to rebuild. Now, I don't know what Walmart's going to do, because I haven't heard in the news what Walmart's intentions are. I know what I would do if I was Walmart. If I was Walmart, I would tell the mayor and the city, the only way we stay is if you, the city, completely restore this facility.
I would say adios. I'm
You know.
sorry, because the thing is as long as she's in as a mayor, it's going to happen again.
Well, the point of it is, for me, if I was Walmart, that would be the only condition that I would remain.
Well, Walmart's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. What about the mom and the pops?
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah.
They're never coming back.
Right.
It
But,
happened to Detroit. Detroit never, to this day, has not come back from the 1967 riots.
I guess, and the reason why I wanted to show this photograph here was the fact that the news, I mean, it was actually in the news how the mayor was pleading with Walmart not to pull out. So,
Well, people
Oh,
need
there's
somewhere
other
to shop.
ones talking about pulling out too. I think it was
Yeah.
Target, and some of the others are talking about pulling too.
so you know, that concludes my slideshow. I just wanted to show the comparison, and I did try to go through all the photos that I could find, and I got to tell you, I did not see hardly any. I don't recall seeing any looting pictures from COVID-19 protesters. I did see a picture or two of some being arrested, but I did not see pictures of mayhem and.
I think their arrests were
destruction.
mostly with the hair cutting when they went there to do the hair cutting.
Right.
You know what?
They arrested them for standing out there doing hair cutting, but yet they're not arresting some of this other stuff.
And you
that's
know, I
going
didn't even
on?
think to add one of those pictures too. Shame on me. Shame on me. But because I did see one and I should have included that in this. Sorry, guys. So those are our thoughts. Thanks for watching. Kim, Mac, and TJ signing off with, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.